Yesterday's conspiracy theories, tomorrow's headlines. Most are still asleep and I ain't talking about no bedtime. The truth is not a Google search, you need to get your head right. The Greek goddess of illusion was called Media and I'm not a coincidence theorist, I look for thread lines. Smashing every deadline, no longer smashing red wine. Though I can hear the bells chime, it feels like the end times. That probably should have been smashed on red wine, but the carnal mind is foolish. Obey and end up ghoulish. Don't get used by instinct, take control and learn to use it. Make a load of earnest music, earn a few quid, learn a few tricks. Sure, the truth is persecuted, this whole world is pure abusive. Know a bit about everything and everything about nothing. Figured out my noggin while you picture out shopping. You sit about watching while I dish it out, stop it. I don't mean to sound cocky, I'm not even proud of it. It's a second itch to me just for me to sound honest. I don't even need to sound honest, never been about profit. Everything but out on it, you can bet your house on it. Doubt I'll be out for the count when the sounds, and I'm down for the beat, no beat down. I mean, how long's it been? Help me out. I've been the only one who's held me down. All in the mind, hell freeze now. Still sick with it, healthy how? Few bars down and the world freaked out. I don't reach out, I seek out to speak out. I'ma recount the reasons they beat out.
Welcome. Is this on? I can't really hear myself, so give me about 1 second so I can verify that this is working. Otherwise, I'm not too sure my mic is on. That's microphone Yeti. One moment, por favor, mi amigos. Yeah, all right, it works. Cool. All right, great. So it's just I switched up a few different things. I got some new headphones, a new Bluetooth setup, and I switched it out. So I'm not listening through my surround set anymore. Thank you guys for being here. If you guys could please like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody around that this is going down, man. So this is episode 298, and we're gonna run for about 30, 40, 50 minutes. What we're gonna talk about tonight, what I'm going to get into is Trump, some, what the fuck's happening, selling out our country, which is some bullshit. Fuck that fool. Secondly, there's some conspiracies, I guess, a little bit, and third, I just want to give a big shout out to Vacation Races. Let's see if you guys can see it on the back. Well, yeah, so Vacation Races, man. Go check them out on Instagram. Go check them out, whatever social you can find them. They are an amazing race company, or like, let's just say 5K, 10K, hill climb type company, where you sign up and you're going to some of the most prestigious, beautiful lands that you can find. Like, I was at Mount Rainier over the last weekend, and I absolutely loved it. There were views that I got there that I would never find anywhere else. I took a little bit extra time to take some pictures. I started out about 4,000 feet up in the sky, about 2,000, 3,000, 3,000 something. I don't even know what it was. Then I went up to 8,000 feet. So I hiked about a 4,000 feet. And it was pretty intense. I mean, they wanted to make that a race. And don't get me wrong, there was some people running up there. Hats off to them. I didn't want to do that this first time around. What I wanted to do was just kind of get the experience, understand the course, specifically because it was steep. The course was absolutely steep. There was rocks all over. It was trails. There was dirt. It wasn't like paved at all. And it went uphill, and some parts were actually pretty dangerous to run and walk across. Like they were sliding down the rocks, and the dirt and everything was sliding off the mountain while we were going up it. So we were kind of just having to find our footsteps and hold on. The higher you got up, the more you breathed, and literally. I finished I don't know what time it was. 4-ish, 5-ish. I'm not even too sure. All I know is that I was up on top to see the sunrise, and I absolutely loved it. There was incredible views, and I want to just give a big shout out to Vacation Races for hosting these. Um, the Mount Rainier competition, it's anywhere from like it was 100 to 200 for the different tickets. There is Mount Rushmore. They have like Grand Canyon, all sorts of different national parks, which is kind of why you pay a little bit extra because you get access to national parks, and I had access to a gondola. Um, so if you want to go camping, you have like premier opportunity to go camping on a weekend where they have actually rented it out for the most part. So, they have their own spot. Some of these locations, some of these places, I know that they actually serve food. So if you go for the 2 to 3 days, you can, get fed a little bit. Um, where I was at, it was pretty much a cabin over at Crystal Mountain. Uh, ate I ate a nice home style home cooked burger, and I absolutely loved it. It was 10 for 10. The whole experience. I I think I'm gonna be doing more of these vacation races, because it's very important to get out there to see these places. And yeah, I could go out there and hike, but it was just it was great to be out there with 100 or so, couple hundred actually, other inspired people who were just like me. Like we were walking it, some were running it, some got gassed out. It was just a mix of people who were just enjoying nature, because that's what it really was. It was more of a, you get out and enjoy nature on a long hike, long jog, and you're not running through a city on a 5K and, like getting all the smog, and it feels like, I don't know how to say it, the asphalt and all that city feel kind of just feels a little stagnant. But this was out there, Mount Rainier was by far one of the best things. Let's get into this episode, guys. I appreciate you guys staying here. So go check out Vacation Races. And if you guys could go check out my sponsors, shopc60.com has some of the world's best antioxidants. It is a Nobel Prize winning compound. Yes, C60. First research by Buckminster Fuller over in the 80s. And it's been a staple for the last 40, 50 years as a Nobel Prize winning supplement. It is a perfect carbon molecule. Molecule. I don't know why I said that so funny in my mind, but it is one of the best supplements that I have ever tried. One of the world's best antioxidants. And I will actually say, like, it's helped me get energy all day. It's helped heal me up faster than anything I've ever taken. Um, and it feels like I'm cutting out some of the the radicals, free radicals and the heavy metals in a sense. I'm not detoxing, but I'm vibrating and so energetic that stuff kind of just gets away from me, and I feel like I'm flushing it out faster. If you guys would like, go over to shopc60.com and use coupon code 509 Divine Pines. Thank me later. Let's go ahead and get into a little bit of this. There's some videos I got for everybody, so let's play this right here. We're all one.
Did you know the military
right?
has been studying the use of forest fires as a weapon since 1970?
Truly shocking. Forest fire is a military weapon. Final report, June 1970. Yet more insanity from the military-industrial complex. This formally classified U.S. military report provides in-depth detail on the methods the military uses to prepare vast swaths of forests for extremely intense forest fire incinerations. The United States Forest Service provided much of the data for the U.S. military. Question: Is that really the job description for the Forest Service, to instruct the U.S. military on how to, quote, set the stage for maximum intensity forest fire incinerations by months-long atmospheric spraying of desiccants and defoliants? Are U.S. citizens and populations around the world now in the same category as the Viet Cong were during the U.S. invasion of Vietnam? Even more disturbing about this report is the fact that it includes specific data that outlines the best engineered forest fire incineration timing for various regions in the U.S.
But surely that's just theoretical military research. It's not like anyone has been spraying our forests with chemicals.
The Forest Service is spraying glyphosate in the forests of Lake Tahoe and the surrounding areas. They're using the herbicide as a tool for forest management and burn scars, and even in recreational areas like trails and campgrounds. This needs to stop, and it's going to be up to all of us.
So yeah, that fog outside your window, I'm sure it's completely natural. Nothing strange about it.
Okay, this is the smoke in Traverse City. See, you can hardly see the water. It is so bad. I can feel it in my throat. Not good. Traverse City, Michigan today. You can still see the water, but you can't see very far. There's the sun. Can't even see the sun.
Yeah, so there are fires all around. And you know what's crazy is that over here in my local area, Washington State, it was a few weeks ago where there were some fires over here in Benton County. And someone put it together on a map. And there were fires in a direct line, hundreds of miles apart, meaning it was at the certain right latitude, and then 20 miles over to the east, same latitude, same place, same verticality, whatever that you can find on a map. Another fire, and then another 15 miles over, another fire, and it looked. They put it together on a map. It was all a line, a specific line. And, you know, we've heard about the Palisades, right? I covered it on my podcast when the Palisades were on fire in California. I broke it down. I showed you guys the videos of how there was multiple people being caught for starting fires, and seemingly over in South America too, when the Jews were getting caught for setting fires. Was it Argentina or Chile? Somewhere down there, right? Well, things are on fire, and it's not just coincidence. It's not just nature, guys. This isn't just, well, you know, we're short on water and there's fire. Nope. This is deliberate. Check this out. This is from Joe Rogan's podcast.
Down to emojis.
Yeah, Jamie thinks emojis are the next hieroglyphs. I think he's right. I think he's got something there, right? If they get real good, I mean, it's kind of hieroglyphs. It's kind of similar.
It's kind of similar, I would say that, but it's the end of abstraction. So hieroglyphs actually carry the information in the form. And so the form of those shapes, now we've, you know, some of the greatest minds on the earth are starting to recognize that if you draw one of those shapes and show it to a human mind, it creates an incredible medical response. You can reverse inflammation, all kinds of things by looking at the shape, because the shape is creating a waveform.
Wait a minute, looking at the shape of certain hieroglyphs?
Yeah, the shapes that are in Egyptian hieroglyphs are now being used to really change human biology. We're realizing it was not a symbolic representation of something, it was a full transmission of information.
Is there papers written on this?
So Ibrahim is one of the greatest minds out there. He's out of Egypt, Cairo, Egypt, and he's in his 80s now. And I'm going to connect you with him because you'd love to have him on this show. But he has been hired by large, groups, and now Switzerland has hired him now to recode their 5G network with these shapes to improve biology and life around the 5G network, which I think is the future of technologies. Technology is not bad. Technology is not integrated in natural systems. And so Ibrahim's showing us this pathway to understanding how these original shapes that are represented within a lot of the hieroglyphs and things like that in Egypt, but also really embedded in the actual technology of the pyramids. It was a method of communication that was beyond the human mind, it was a life force transmission.
So is doing something to you while you're understanding the context of what the hieroglyphics is trying to communicate. It's actually having a physiological experience. And anybody will have this physiological experience even if you don't understand the context?
There's no understanding involved.
Okay, so you just go there, stare at these things, and it reduces inflammation?
Yeah.
Is there anything on that online? Can we find something? Jamie, how dare you laugh at that? We're going deep, son.
I did, and
Put on the waders.
I tried everything, and it said there's no link, but I'm looking harder.
Do you know of a good resource we could find a link to something like this?
Is his
I'd like
name-
to know how they measured the inflammation.
Is
I'm
this-
not opposed to believing that it's possible.
Just look up
Here it is. Is that
Ibrahim.
Ibrahim Karim.
Karim?
Yep.
This is
All
it?
right, well, that's
Okay, it
This is
says
the biogeometry.
this is his quote. It says, when two energy fields are in resonance and exchange information, something happens after the resonance is over. The two systems do not go back to their original state. A sort of vibrational impregnation occurs, which means that part of the new information leaves an imprint on the energy system. Systems then are in constant evolution through resonance or interaction. Well, that certainly seems to be what people are.
Perfect.
It's a perfect that whole system is that description is a perfect description of human beings,
I completely agree.
which is why it's so important to be around positive people and happy people. It's like really good for you. Being around shitheads is terrible for you,
Yeah.
you know, and terrible for them too, because they're not attracting any nice people and then they're going to continue that behavior. They're stuck, you know. But that's fascinating.
So what they're talking about right there is cymatics. So when we look at an object and when we look at the sun or a flower, tree, bird, person, booty, nice smile, right? We get happy. We get all these emotions, right? We get hormones rushing, but not just that. Well, when we look at certain shapes, certain patterns, our brain actually finds attunement so that we see it as a natural rhythm, a natural pattern, and our brain's like, oh, I know that. And it starts connecting, like, oh, I've seen something similar. Oh, I've thought that. And it then also creates this harmonic healing where it's like, oh, I know the patterns to start healing, and I know how to de-stress, and I can now figure things out because my brain is in rhythm. Where, like, you can look at it in the opposite way. When these celebrities go through MK Ultra, these celebrities go through some dark programming, satanic type of stuff, and they start getting all like Britney Spears or these other celebrities who are really dark and going through really hard times. You hear about it is that these artists were put through dark things. Like Epstein put the people through dark things, and they put them through dark images. They subjected them to dark music, and it really messed up their biology, really messed up their brain. It shuts them down. Let's go ahead and finish this right here. So
Contributing your brain to medical science. Have you?
Am I contributing it? And what
I think
manner?
it'd be very interesting to study you.
I would be.
So there's a word that really captures the living force out of that quote from Ibrahim, and it's a word called biosis. And so the word biosis means and refers to the interconnected relationships that make life possible. Your mind is one of the funnest things to watch, and that's why everybody watches, because you come in with a curiosity, which I think is the real key to being human. You looked at that and you immediately said that's what being human is. Two energy fields that can impregnate each other.
Yeah.
This podcast has been a 16-year impregnation inspired by your curiosity.
Well, it's impregnated me as well. It's not like, it's not like I'm
That's
the one
my
who,
point.
yeah.
That's my point is you have made yourself available to over and over again be impregnated. You are making your whole body system available to new information. And a lot of the people that are in here aren't like measured as the smartest people on the planet, and they're not measured as the nicest people on the planet. You keep attracting to yourself the ones that are going to challenge your biology to stretch more, to grow more. You want to grow so much that you created this whole system for yourself. I'm intrigued by that soul. I'm intrigued by somebody that would magnetize 100 million people to themselves, not so that you can impress other people, but so you can receive that much information that Ibrahim is talking about.
And I believe that's kind of why our ancient ancestors, all throughout reality, all throughout history, they would put symbols. It's not just the rock art that we see from the natives or the indigenous tribes across the plains of what is it down there, Australia, and over here, and even in some parts of the Americas, in the desert areas. Arizona, Grand Canyon, things like that. There's a lot of rock art that has very symmetrical shapes and patterns, but also in these ancient sites like Egypt, Machu Picchu. We even know that the actual temple layouts, Malta, Saxa, Huyaman, and these different places. Even looking at those they have the same geometrical patterns, and even the huge giant, you would call them drawings, in the desert of what is it, Peru, I believe, in Andes Mountains. Those big old giant, like 50-foot. They're humans, they're animals, they're symbols, right? They're all sorts of different shapes. Well, it's because our soul and our spirit, our mind, it's lived off of this for millions or thousands of years. And when we see these patterns, when we see these things that we know has been passed down as a geometrical or harmonic pattern, it clicks with us. Tell you what's not clicking with us right here is Thomas. Thomas Massey tells us what's going to go down with this whole Israel thing. That's part of it. Thomas Massey issues one last warning to Americans about the dangers of Section 219, which would permanently merge United States and Israeli military supply chains and outlast any presidency. This would permanently integrate the U.S. military supply chains. Let's see what he has to say. Remember, Thomas Massey's taking a stand against the big
first of
guys.
all, the NDAA stands for the National Defense Authorization Act. And it's one of the few bills that passes every year. I've been here 14 years. There have been 14 NDAAs. So you can set your clock on the fact that this bill will pass. So anything that gets in it is, dangerous as a cocked gun. It's going to become law. Well, this bill is hundreds of pages long. And, in one of those hundreds of pages, it's actually 5 pages long, is Section 219. And it was Section 224, but it's now Section 219. And it calls for the integration of our military technology and the supply chains that produce our, high-tech military equipment to be integrated with Israel's. Now, we don't have this kind of, bilateral agreement with any other country in the world. And I would argue that we shouldn't, in order to protect our sovereignty and to protect our national secrets. If you wanted to share one thing at a time, let's say, we wanted to collaborate on missile defense systems, I think that's fine. The president can do that, just by virtue of controlling the military. But what they're doing here is legislatively, they are appointing a person. I joke that this person will eventually be a cabinet member, but right now it's a lower level position who will be in charge of the integration. And that means that this project will have a lifespan that outlasts the commander-in-chief. Regardless of who the next president is, this provision lasts forever. And it's in the National Defense Authorization Act. It's coming to a vote. A lot of people have, saw this. I saw this back in June and offered an amendment. By the way, there are 1,400 amendments that have been offered to the National Defense Authorization Act here in the House. My amendment was amendment number 2. I was the second person to offer an amendment to the NDAA, and that's because I saw this troubling provision in there. Now, what they've decided to do is they've decided to block my amendment. So there will be no vote and no debate on Section 219 and whether it should be in the NDAA or whether it should not be in the NDAA.
Yeah, I'm against this merger. Let's go ahead and hear what Ian Carroll has to say.
Time for the left and the right to realize that red versus blue is a lie.
There are 100 U.S. senators. Last year, 93 out of 100 U.S. senators were people whose campaigns had been funded by Israel, AIPAC, and the Israel lobby. 93 out of 100 U.S. senators were taking money from a group that represents a foreign government and foreign interests in order to operate our government on behalf of someone else.
It's just a sports game that they give you to keep you fighting a constructed culture war that they feed you. It's just an endless stream of distractions to keep the people from rising up and coming for the Epstein class. And they're fucking scared because they've never seen the public empowered like we are today. Because knowledge is power. And now that we know the truth, they're going to try just about anything to distract and divide us again and make it all go away. But it's not going away. No, this story is just getting started.
Y'all fucking ready? Because, man, shit's getting real, boys. Shit's getting real. Let's go ahead. Hear what this.
Right, it's over, and I think, in my view, it's over. The point of no return. We've passed that long. And I think
that's what Tucker Carlson thinks. That's what Matt Bracken thinks. That's what everybody I talk to thinks.
Yeah, I mean,
Trump says all the military supports this, and 100% of his supporters support it with no evidence. I found everybody I know in the military is against this.
That's right.
I don't know anybody in
I'm
the
against
military
this shit
for
too.
this. No,
you have more context than probably anybody. When you talk to active duty and others and former, and
I'm not in the military no more. But
for all your years of war correspondent, I mean, what are they saying?
Fuck that.
I haven't seen anybody that's for this. I haven't seen anybody at all that's like, hey, let's go to war with Iran. They all know this is foolish. At minimum, this is foolish.
I opened the phones up, and 9 out of 10 callers that are military are against it.
The main target actually is the United States. A lot of people don't get that, right? And more globally, the globe, to reduce the population to control the remnant, right? So this is huge war. This is big boy war. That's why people that are talking about the MOU and all that nonsense and the peace talks, I'm like, listen, I don't even have time for that. There's no peace talks. It's a distraction. You're wasting my time. They have occasional crescendos, and this is one of them. And it's game on, and it's really big, and it's global, and like it's never been before. And there's different parties that want to do different things. Some parties want to depopulate the earth. Other parties are not even paying attention to it. And I think it's going to surprise them when it finally happens. And then there's parties that, like China, just wants to rule the world and make the world Chinese. They're very clear about it. They want to make the world genetically Chinese. They're super clear about that. Right. And then we've got the Zionists that would like to wipe us out. Obviously, they're super clear about it. They don't hide it. They brag about it.
They say, Netanyahu says, you destroyed our temple in 70 AD. America and Europe is Rome, and you're going to get it.
They call us Romans. I mean, he says that occasionally, right? I mean, we are the Romans to them. And so this is for them, it's new in their minds. Professional.
And that's key to explain. It didn't mean it's like the Soprano guy goes, where are the Romans? He goes, what the hell you think you're looking at? You don't have to be Italian background, folks. We're all seen as Romans by the Israel lobby.
Right. And professional victims are always predators. And you'll see the CCP as well. The Chinese Communist Party is a professional victim. Constantly, everything they do is about we're the victim. And that gives them the right to do anything they want. Wars have this way of getting out of control really quick. It's already out of control. This what's happening now is a function of an out of control war. Because, wars do certain things very predictably. The Nostradamus of war.
What they do predictably is grow. once you start them.
There you go. Then if you want to sound like Nostradamus and war prediction, just say, I think this war is going to grow, right? And it does magically, because that's what fires and wars do. And I think this war is going to grow unpredictably, and they do, because that's what they do. It's going to last longer than anybody expected, right? They generally last longer than anybody expected, and the outcome is often different than anybody expected, right? So, I mean, right now we're in the stage of a wildfire, right? And there's a huge fuel load, and the winds come and go, the weather changes. I mean, which way is the fire going to go? You could have fought fires for 40 years, and you're like, I don't know. When
Which it goes back to mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
The smart move would have not done this, but now it's been kicked off.
It's game on. So I mean, there's the war has, once you reach this stage of a war, it's like a beast being born. It has its own life.
Real time, uncensored, unstoppable. AlexJonesLive.com. Take a stand. Share the link.
Yeah, so Alex Jones gets down about this today. It's real what they're saying, that a lot of military does not want this. Personally, I know military that wants this. I know that what is happening within the government is a takeover. It is a Marxist or communist, or let's just say Zionist takeover, and currently right now a Zionist takeover. They have gotten so much money and so much political sway through lingo and through donations and through putting themselves on this chessboard in places where they can just dilly-dally their way through their day, feed people bullshit, and if it gets eaten up, then they've won. Well, that's happened. So, a lot of our senators, a lot of our states, a lot of our celebrities, a lot of our politicians take money from this AIPAC, from the Jews. This is not a racial thing. There's the Jews race, there's the Jews country, which is different than the race, because the people who live in the country are not of the race. They're not Hebrew, right? Okay. And then there's the religion. So you have all three. You have the actual by genetic Hebrew. Then you have the I'm just part of this country Jew. And then you have the religious Jew. So these guys are completely let's just say these political Jews, these Zionist Jews, these Chabad Ludovich Jews, they've taken over the actual genetic Jews. So the Hebrews from back in the day, a couple hundred years ago, a couple thousand years ago, maybe a millennia ago, they were sought after just like Jesus was, and the rest of them, and the other apostles, and the rest of their tribes. And they were diminished of, they were, rid of, killed off, and publicly hanged and executed, and their families were targeted. And throughout the time, through Revelation 2, Revelation 9, Jesus is forewarning, watch out for those these guys, these infiltrators who say they're a part of this Jewish clan and aren't really of them. So that's what's happened currently, where our country, our celebrities, our politicians, they've gone astray from actual truth of genetics, and they've fallen victim to religious ideology, zealotry, they would call it. This I'm better than you because I say so, and you get to become my slave. It's not really a real thing. It's all internal, spawned by Satan. And when you see that their books and that their leanings and teachings go towards that they can work with the dark, you understand that this dark religion, it's very perversive, it's very infiltrative, it's very destructive. They're like spies, and they're like agents, and they go in and infiltrate, and they take over religions, over countries, and what they're doing currently is that they've taken over from within because, well, the America's most powerful, most successful in a sense, seemingly fall to, oh, I like to party, be the bad person. I want to dabble with the spirit and the occult, and get intermixed with mysticism in a way where I am the one receiving the blessings for doing the deeds of the darkness. That's what these celebrities and politicians are currently doing. And a lot of military members like me, we understand this. Like, we understand from within that there's people who are using ancient sources or otherworldly sources or other dimensional type of strategies to work with spirits and demons to you know empower their religion, empower their political sway, their celebrity sway, and use it as an influence over the rest of the population. That's pretty much what's happened, where it's no joke, where let's just say some of these celebrities who are very dark and evil, Travis Scott, or some of these others, they say that they worship this or that, and their followers are under a trance. They're idols, and it's kind of the same things with politicians in a way. Like, I'm not sure how Trump does what he does, but he makes everybody believe bullshit, and I mean it. Like, he sold out our country. Trump is a fucking Chabad Zionist punk, and he sold out our country, where people trusted him because his words were powerful enough. And it seems like he just threw it all in front of our face and threw it all to the dirt. We are currently now integrating with a country that doesn't even have our best interest, that beats up Americans and spits on followers of Christ and calls us goyim and cattle. But these are the extremists, the elites of those of this country, which is what's in charge of that country and that helm, which is taken over and try to destroy the actual genetic class of the Hebrews, right? Like, Netanyahu isn't fucking Hebrew, but he leads the country, and now they just merged, right? But it's not the Hebrews merging with us, guys. We know this. We have a sense of understanding where we're like, these aren't the tribes of Israel. This isn't the tribe of Judah. These aren't any of the tribes, and what they're representing is none of it, right? So it's kind of obvious whose side Trump is on, whose side Pete Hegseth is on, and not like what I mean countryside, but I meant like spiritual side, the spirit side of them. When you can tell that they're willing to sacrifice the whole country just for their own political gain. It was just mentioned, I believe it was Sam Tripoli, and it was either that or yes, one of the Sam Tripoli's episodes throughout this week. Donald Trump pretty much did the biggest backflip in money that the world has ever seen, where he was in debt, he was bankrupt, and now he's one of the world's richest again because he used his political sway and positions to benefit himself, to boost himself, and he sure succeeded. I think it's a good time to pray. I think I'm not even joking though. Like, I don't mean to laugh in like in a bad way, but like this is a real time to pray, guys. Our country seemingly had the blindfold thrown on them, bent over, and then railed. And a lot of people won't have the balls. I know I do. I know that there's others out here in the podcasting world who have the balls to speak up and be like, yo, look, like something ain't right, man. Like, there's really something going on with X, Y, and Z. But we need to pray because there's things being it's just a trip. There's a poly market bet that says like what I forgot what it was. The bet was Jesus is going to return before GTA 6 or something like that. And so you could win money by either winning or losing a bet, whatever, I guess, right? But like, people are betting on Jesus' return over a GTA 6 game, and like the way that everyone's acting, man, in a sense, careless, spiritless, prideless, no morals, or we have anything to fight for anymore. Like people, like, don't give up, guys. Don't give up. There's still a whole lot of game left in this. There's still a whole lot of years left in this. There's still a whole lot of time left in this war, left in this battle, and it's something we need to pray for. Like, we all need to be in this together, in a sense where, hey, like, just to take this back to World War II, in a sense, World War One, like, there really was some, bloodshed going on, right? We don't want bloodshed no more. And I think we all just need to understand that we can't be turning sides and having division everywhere. And not just that, but being weak and not standing up for what's right, or you know doing what we need to take care of our own, and make sure that we're ahead of the game. Like, we can't just sit here and be out of the game. Like, you're live, and so you're in the battle no matter what. Like, if you're alive, God put you here for the battle. Don't think that, oh well, I have this type of job, I'm not any useful, or, well, I don't really think like that. It's not up to you. It's not a, well, I think like that or not thing. That's not up to us. That's like you trying to control God. That's like you trying to control what the angels or Jesus wants, or what God's trying to make you think of, or God's trying to put up in your spirit, where like that's who we are naturally. It you know Times have changed, where this ain't 2,000 years ago, where you're actually in chains and in bondages and in slave ships, right? Like, you have freedom, use it. Otherwise, like, you know you're just gonna be used by a vessel. Like, if you don't use this vessel, your vessel will be used. Like, you'll be manipulated. You'll be the digital slave. You'll be a real physical slave. But like, we don't want that. Nobody wants that. So we got to take it upon ourselves. Uh control our reality. Control, like, our power and our confidence, and how to make a change, and how to speak up, or how to help someone who's making the change, or how to be part of the right circles to move with the change and move in the right direction. That we, like, even if we don't have a voice, don't be hanging around with the people who are moving in the wrong direction. And this goes for all type of things. This isn't just political or spiritual. This is for all type of things. Recently there's been a big old dramatic I don't know, people should just say it for what it is, like, abuse of alcohol, man. Like, there's been so much abuse on alcohol lately that I've been standing up, and I've been taking a toll. I've been taking a voice on this, where I don't really like it. And there's a lot of people out here who are falling victim to violence, or falling victim to accidents, or falling victim to bad health, and they're not doing anything about it, right? Like, you know, as time goes on, we grow, we evolve, we get smarter, faster, stronger. Everything in our life, we grow up, right? We mature. We're supposed to. We're supposed to be more intelligent every week, every day. We're supposed to be a little bit stronger every week, every day, whatever. Um, but a lot of people aren't utilizing those opportunities to make themselves better. Like we're society is holding itself back, right? And when we quit holding ourselves back and we all thrive and we all flourish, we all start getting bigger, stronger, faster, smarter. We all start growing better gardens. We all start growing a better food, right? Eating better, working out better. Like we thrive, but alcohol ain't like that. No matter what, no matter which way you look at it, like a lot of people ain't doing that. I bet you 95% of people out there drinking alcohol, they're not doing it right in a sense, right? Where you look back in the day, and when alcohol was being used 100 or 200 or 1,000 years ago, or whatever, there was some strong stuff, there was some weak stuff in a sense, but it wasn't meant, you know, to be drunk all day. And the people who were, it was obviously like very sinful. It was very bad, you know. It was more violent. It was dark. And you think we would learn, right? Over thousands of years, over hundreds of years, but it seems like people haven't. You know, those four locos were a problem. There's more liquors that are absolutely a problem. There's fake sugars, there's fake sweeteners, there's chemicals and mixtures where now you're getting like 70% alcohol or beer. Let's just say 70% beer, hops, and then 30% of it's just like filled with like artificial junk and gunk and sweeteners and um decaking agents and all sorts of different things where it's actually not really real and it's very destructive for your body. And not just that, these things are getting stronger, these alcohols are getting stronger, and our bodies aren't meant to just like constantly go up. And there is no, well, I built a extreme tolerance like because I wanted to, and I'm just completely healthy. It's you kind of damage your body a bit, and the blood alcohol percentage, uh that's there for a reason. When you overdo it, you're gonna die. But a lot of people don't understand that. It's like out there in society, the people are getting more abusive, more wicked with this alcohol in a sense. And it's like the opposite of evolution or getting better. It's actually really just like it's pretty sad, man. It's pretty sad when we have a opportunity, to grow, but instead it's just a poison because the poison is speaking. You know, the devil has his ways to trick humanity, and it's seemingly working through the politicians or through the foods or different things. Uh, we as a society can do great. We can be better every day. We can grow and thrive, but it's up to us. It's not just gonna it's not just gonna happen randomly without any work. Especially these days. It's all that. Tap the wire. My bad. Let's go. Twitter. We're gonna play these clips. This clip right here from Cassie Coppersmith. She's talking about ancient technology.
Like fairies, and they have these giant skulls on these very small bodies, and it does make you think that probably had something to do with the mythology of fairies in England. This was at Avebury, which is one of the big stone circles. When you walk in the museum there are these amazing anomalous elongated skulls on these very tiny little bodies.
Whoa.
The other interesting thing about elongated
Are
skulls,
they children?
I don't think so. No, there's a woman named Maria Whitley who writes all about these skulls that she found that have been found all over England. That's Egypt. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so this is England. This is one of the skulls, but this skull is very small. But if you look at the shape of it, Their ears are in a different spot. They have huge eye sockets. I have another photo where there's one still attached to a small body.
Whoa. Look at the size of that head.
Isn't that interesting?
That's crazy.
Now, this one may have been a child. I don't remember specifically which of these skulls.
Even as a kid, that kid's going to be a football player.
He already has a helmet.
Fuck, kid has a giant head. But it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right.
It doesn't look right.
Like, I have babies. They don't have heads that big. That's crazy. Even when a baby's got a big head, when they're little and they can barely hold their head up.
Yep.
It doesn't look
Little
like that.
bobbleheads.
That's crazy.
Another really interesting.
Look how far I'm sorry, but look how far it goes behind the spine.
And look how flat it is at the bottom and the back.
Yes.
I mean, imagine holding that head up.
Well, that's the other weird thing about these elongated skulls. The part of the skull where it connects to the spine is in a different place.
Yes, which makes sense. Otherwise, you'd I guess your head would fall backwards.
Like, look at these. Look at these that don't have that sagittal suture. That one that's closest to us. That is crazy.
Yeah. So that one's in Peru. I saw that one a couple months ago. It looks completely different than the skull right behind it.
Right. It's like a different kind of person.
Yes. Interestingly, in a lot
So
of these
they have
elongated,
like one on the side and they don't have the one down the middle.
yeah, there's another one that's labeled Malta, and you can see the view of it from the top, and you can see how it looks completely different than any of the other. So here's an interesting thing that I'm not sure you've talked much about, Joe.
Brain surgery?
The holes in the back of these skulls, it's trepanation.
Yeah.
So it was a surgery that they see evidence of in lots and lots of ancient skulls. And the question becomes, so if you don't have a sagittal suture and your brain, our brain will fuse, right? As we grow.
Sorry, but look at that, what it looks like. It looks like they use drills.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
And
Like they just drill a circle around that dude's head?
in a lot of instances, these people survived these surgeries. The question becomes, why were they doing it?
Whoa, look at that top one. Scoop out some brain, bro. That's crazy. Maybe they were trying to relieve pressure.
Well, if your brain doesn't have all of the sutures that ours does, and your brain is fusing, there are some theories that suggest that these people were losing their connection with consciousness. So because their brains were so big, they, a lot of telepathy and things like that. So if you cut a hole in a fused skull, you still have access, right? It allows you, I guess, more space in your skull to access what you used to access.
So it's like relieving pressure in some way? This is the idea? Why they're doing this trepanation?
Maybe, I think
we had a woman on who did trepanation to herself.
Oh my gosh, I've read about her.
Yeah. Is she still alive?
But she did it
They
for
were doing lobotomy until pretty recently.
She's still alive. Fucking Joe.
Yeah, right.
When we knew better.
Is she still alive, Jamie? I think she might have passed recently.
And her
Oh, she really
motivation
did?
for that,
Damn,
was it
that's
not
good. Sorry.
for consciousness?
Yes.
Yeah.
She goes on and talks more about this ancient archaeology and what's she saying about the
Now
schools
is time
too,
for everybody to wake up.
where all across the world there's these ancient schools, long schools. Some of these schools are reference to certain beings, and many of the times these schools aren't really the same. Like some are wide, some are more vertical. Just so strange and different, just bigger. Check this out.
Really knew where we came from. I think we would feel a lot less lost.
South America, like good Lord, there's so many mysteries. Like, explain away Sacsayhuaman. Explain away those stones. Help me out. Help me out how people with no steel and no heavy machinery move these things into position.
Giants.
Move these 20-foot tall, immense stones that are cut like jigsaw puzzles. It looks.
So when we look at these schools in the stories, right, they speak of giants and great beings and great ones, and the gods and the demigods, and all of the religions have their names for the beings that were in the local areas, right? and it's all throughout the world. So there's no misconnection. Like, it's not just, well, they're only saying it, so they could be lying. It's the whole world is saying it in unison and showing the archaeological proof and showing the remnants of these sites that show giant doors and giant footprints and giant steps or whatever, right? All sorts of different things all around the world. It's not just what I mentioned. It's truly a remarkable tale, understanding our ancient history, seeing that we come from these giants, and it's directly related to us in a sense. Here's one of the sites. This is from Jay Anderson over at Project Unity. Hidden quarter over at Ola. Oh my gosh, I said this earlier. Olante Tambo, Peru. Let's watch this right here. This is exclusive
Is
video
on display, and a good juxtaposition between what Camille and many others believe to be the first world, the second world, and the third world architecture in Peru. The first world being stonework directly into the bedrock. The second world being the megalithic work that often surrounds it, and the third world being the simple Inca structures that surround the other two layers, much like in other places, like in Gunung Padang, where we see the layers after layers of civilizations adding onto a site that has been considered sacred in ancient history. The same can be said in Peru, where we see layers of architecture essentially emanating out from a central point, and that central point, more often than not, is the incredibly precise bedrock work that we're about to see.
Here we have, many people think that the Hanan-Pacha is all created out of limestone, but this is actually andesite. And so here you can see the cavities that are formed within the Hanan-Pacha, and it's actually very smooth. You touch it. Like these walls, it feels almost like vitrification has been applied here. And also you'll notice here in the corners how smooth it is.
Oh yeah, it's not a 90-degree angle, it's curving into the bottom. They've smoothed it out.
Exactly, yeah. So not exactly a 90-degree angle in there. It's just, and this is very common with all the Hanan-Pacha.
Look at the angles on that. Straight into the bedrock, andesite, around 7.5 to 8 on the measurement of hardness.
Mm-hmm.
And bronze tools sit at about 3.5 to 4. So this is not possible with bronze tools. Cut straight into the cliff. Look at that, guys. And then down here.
If you look at here, you'll see the knobs.
Oh yeah, so this always interests me because the knobs, I mean, there are a lot of different explanations for what the knobs might be, but one of the ones the mainstream usually uses is that they were hoisting points for the blocks.
Right.
If they're hoisting points for the blocks, why is it in the bedrock? Exactly. Why is it in the bedrock? Why is it jutting out like this? So this is not obviously being used to hoist because you're not hoisting the bedrock. Mm-hmm. What are the knobs for?
Yeah.
I still think it might be an after effect of the building process, a softening of some form, or like pulling a spoon away from toffee and you get that kind of pull effect of something that's
So you believe this was one time
well, perhaps if they were softening it to take away the rock, then maybe this is like an after effect of like bringing it out and you've got like a tuft left over. But I don't know because they're not on every block and they're not on every spot.
Right. And this is actually on the mountain itself. So was it being used to maybe mark some kind of solar,
right?
Equinox,
so it's actually more of a marking point than anything else.
And
very interesting.
And you can see some of them.
Yeah, so this one's been broken off.
Broken off right here. And it was also formed very smoothly. Like this is it's almost like glass on the top.
Yeah, you can see the shine from over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've just got these incredible precision blocks down at the bottom. What are these doing here, I wonder?
Another one that's been broken off right here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Right. So look at this, guys. So we've got a nub here that's been broken off, a nub here that's still standing, and then you got another one that looks like it's been broken off.
You can see look at all the calcite that's been forming inside. So were people using this, to touch these things?
Right.
Were they getting a download? You can also see all the veins of calcite growing right over here. And this is all completely smooth.
And then look at this, just box cut right into this block here.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely incredible.
Oh, a falcon just flew by.
Oh, wow.
It just went right down
Yeah, I
there.
just caught it on camera.
Wow.
That's an omen. That's a good omen.
That's a special sign. But you see also how these two megalithic stones, they're actually carved to fit perfectly in with the Hanumpacha.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So this is a sign that the megalithic people saw this as somewhat of a special
site.
And they tended to
Yeah, try to incorporate this into
their own style.
into their
with the
style.
Hanumpacha.
Yeah, so because this is something that you focus on actually is the differences in the fact that you have the megalithic. A lot of people do focus on that, but there is the bedrock work as well, and you think that was from a different people.
I do.
So could you talk a little bit about that? What do you?
Yeah. So basically, when you're looking at Hanumpacha, it tends to be in the bedrock itself, and sometimes you'll find it like in Sacsayhuamanhuipil or Chinchero. They'll be monoliths, and they almost look like they were made by man, not necessarily by nature. Though I would say this particular Hanumpacha rock is actually created out of the bedrock here at Ollantaytambo, and so. This is, I call this Hanumpacha. So this is first world. And the megalithic is actually second world. So what's interesting about Hanumpacha works is you usually find this megalithic built right into it. And then later on, you'll see Inca work. And if we look over here, we'll start seeing more of the Inca temples. So all of the cultures that came after Hanumpacha, saw these sites as really special, and they wanted to build their own temples here and to honor the people that were here before.
I find it incredible that the megalithic work was done in a way that essentially attempted to merge it with the bedrock, shaping blocks of granite and andesite and diorite so that they literally connect with the first world architecture.
That's what I'm talking about with these big giant blocks. That's not just from normal humans, and we have enough data, we have enough archaeological proof now these days to show, like when they say it's from giants, there's enough records in the soil to prove that. Check this out. Lil Wayne talking about aliens. Where is it? It's right.
Ancient aliens.
Ooh.
Shout out Was.
I love it.
Did you see that
Shout out Was.
documentary about, Dave loves to talk about it. It was on what was it called? The Age of Disclosure?
Yes, I did.
What did you think about it?
So
Did you like it?
I mean, I love everything about ancient aliens, but that episode, Age of Disclosure, that's when they exposing everything that the government and
Yeah. He watched it, and I'm not kidding, for 2 weeks straight. All he would say is, "Can I talk to you guys about the Age of Disclosure?"
Well, and the fascinating thing about aliens, which it's just that I feel like if an alien came down and was visible and caught on camera, walking up to the White House and knocking, it would just shift humanity's fundamental paradigm so dramatically.
Exactly.
So it's like this event that can change everything. And there's so many people that are like, we've seen it, it's happened, but it's never been captured in full way. But I feel like, how could there not be aliens in general?
Of course. What you like?
There's definitely.
There has to be.
Of
But
course,
it's also, we also have to understand what an alien is.
Please.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
None of us know. So what I'm saying is, saying that to say we don't know we don't even know if they're from another planet.
Yeah, we don't know anything.
You
We know
know,
nothing.
the only alien that we supposedly knew is the one from Roswell that lived, J-Rod.
I didn't know his name was J-Rod.
Yeah.
I don't know about him.
Yeah.
How do you get the name J-Rod?
No one. They said I think they may have named him, and they said J-Rod said that whatever said that when they would ask, because supposedly they was trying to get him back to where the hell he's from.
Yeah.
If he lived,
J-Rod, where you from, man?
they're trying to.
How can we
and
help you out
J-Rod said,
here?
I'm not from another planet. He said, I'm from another time.
Yeah. Wow.
And so he was from another. He said that your world will end in a cataclysm, and some people will make it. A lot of people will, and they'll have to live within the planet. Basically, go like ants.
Yeah.
And that civilization, that time will last so long that we'll adapt to living there.
Right.
And just like we adapt to everything else, we're going to start adapting to being an insect, and just like an insect. And we're devoid of light. That's why aliens' eyes are so big.
Oh,
because they don't, whatever they came from, there's no light, and the atmosphere is so dense. That's why they don't grow. That's why they don't grow too tall, because the atmosphere don't allow them to. They don't eat the same food. That's why they don't get so big like that.
How do you know all this information? Where's you just like YouTube videos and whatnot?
No, I don't do YouTube.
How do you find this stuff? You got a guy on the inside?
No, it's that.
Would you get on a spaceship right now?
Or like, yeah, if they were like, hey,
I
we
didn't know
can
where we're
take
going.
Moon,
Mars.
so far away, isn't it? Isn't Mars gonna take like years? Like,
they're gonna figure that out.
Yeah, I'm not ready though.
I don't think it takes years.
It takes a while. Elon Musk said something about the whole thing is taking longer than they thought because of the amount of time.
But I thought time like becomes not a thing once you get past a certain point.
Well, Mars might not be involved with that.
Me?
What is it?
Well, because time is just time isn't real.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm saying if we move fast enough, though, we can move faster than time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
We just
time
have to
isn't
be
a
answer to
thing.
how to do that sort of fast thing.
Well, Einstein figured it out. We just ain't paying him no mind when he told us. And he told us that he figured it out by it was raining, and he was just looking up at a light at a street post, and he turned his head real fast, just like, and did it, and noticed that when he kept doing it, he noticed stuff started slowing down when he did that. The faster he did it, so he figured it out. He figured it out like, wait, if I was in something that can move fast, I probably can actually move faster than time.
Yeah, man, that just put me on a thought. I'm moving faster than time. Like, so what the like is light speed faster than time?
Because you just do sports all day.
Right?
Yeah. You watch anything else?
Is light speed faster than time? I do agree though that like on how these small gray aliens, and when they look at them like in the crash sites of Roswell and the different places that I've seen, where like the documentaries and the declassified documents, like they show these aliens and things, and like they talk about like the dark black eyes and small fragile bodies. Hunter Biden right here. He's talking about Lindsey Graham and pretty much how all the Republicans are a mafia of closeted gays, and Hunter Biden would know from the inside. But let's finish off. Let's see right here. So, Joe Rogan and Cassie Coppersmith are talking about this.
The more you look at it, the more questions I have. Like that Kailasa temple in India.
Yeah.
We've gone over that a few times, but Jamie pointed out something that they brought in about, was it like an army to try to destroy it? And they barely put a dent in the damn thing.
Yeah.
And they stayed for a long time. They tried to smash it up and they couldn't do shit to it.
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, well, how did they make this? What did they, and I saw a really wild YouTube video the other day where this guy was proposing that they used lasers and that it was all laser carved. and that they had some sort of like super sophisticated laser setup back then. That's why you're not finding all the stone. That
Yeah.
was,
Well, you know,
I was like, what? Wait a minute.
Look, I think that's absolutely possible. You
It
know,
sounds possible, but also so insane that we're so wrong about the linear timeline of human history that they had fucking lasers in India, like how many thousands of years ago?
Yeah.
That they were using.
See, it's not just you know, about this temple that people are speculating lasers. In the ancient texts in other parts of the world, they have stories of Burmana and these battles in the sky, and some of these craft would have lasers. And so when you start piecing together these stories and you look at these sites and they're like, yeah, we use lasers in the stories. And then you look at these sites, you're like, huh. Yeah. I think they're telling the truth here, buddy. You know?
To carve an entire massive perfect temple out of rock.
you know, I was just down at the Hoysala temples, which are in southern India, and they have these lathe turned pillars. The pillars are feet across. They're huge. And you walk up to them and you look at them closely and you can see the lathe marks on them. And archaeologists concede that they're lathe turned, but they don't concede that it's machined. So they basically say, well, maybe they were turned on a lathe. We'll give you that. But that was probably human powered or animal powered. Yeah. So these are the statue or the lathe turned pillars in southern India. I was just looking at these with my own eyes a couple weeks ago. It's completely unexplainable. And to think of the size of the machine that would be required, you turn that pillar sideways, you connect it to a machine on each side, and you start lathing. Jamie, I have a folder in my India pictures that.
God, that's so pretty.
That has lots of so what you can see at sites like Hampi in India is you can see the evidence of lathing. So it almost looks like the setup that they would have used to carve these kinds of pillars. And it's just sitting in kind of far-flung corners of these sites. Nobody addresses what they are. And so the evidence is everywhere of this. It's just not, it's written off. It's like, well, that must have been an animal powered lathe. So I do think we have strong evidence for machining in ancient history. And in my mind, it doesn't have to be machines. There could have been other ways that they were doing this that we don't even recognize.
I'd had Perplexity dig up something on the Kalyasa temple.
Yeah.
Let me find it here. It was just going into like, is the ability of what? Do you know how many people they thought made it? I guess I'll ask you that first. Do you know how the conventional method? They said 250 people made it over 5.5 years.
Sure,
the
sounds
problem
good.
with that is it started.
I'd like to hire those dudes.
It started to tell me like that's kind of like okay, but then it started getting. I was like, actually, the hardest part with this is going to be removing all of that rock.
Yeah.
Like where not they couldn't that didn't say like where is it, but it just was going into the math. This is all the Perplexity did. It's all this math on.
This is Kailasa.
Yeah.
The amount of stone that can be removed every day.
And it just it would have taken. It is even just the 250 people is a fourth of the potential. The number they tried to destroy it with for 3 years. And they had the same tools, I guess. They just said they had some sort of metal. This says 5.5
They
years.
tried to destroy it for 3 years.
That had
and
to have
then
been
they just quit.
Really frustrating 3 years.
1,000 guys tried to destroy it for 3 years. You imagine that? That is crazy.
Even if it was 100 and it's just exaggerated,
Right.
They couldn't do anything.
That's really
Chipped
crazy.
off some noses.
How mad that king was? He's like, just destroy it.
Imagine what a dick he must have been.
Oh, yeah.
To want to destroy that. That's the problem with kings.
It's the problem with kings.
Good Lord, that's wild.
Seems like we're on the brink of rediscovering our ancient history and rediscovering what life's really good for. This is what life's all about. Oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh, fuck yeah, right on it.
They're trying to get punished.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yo, the dude lifts his head up like, what the fuck? Oh man, I didn't have to do that in the military. Wish I would. I wish I did though. I wish they made me do that. Oh man. Yo, so Ian Carroll's right here coming back with some videos. Talking about how a couple months ago when he was talking about how Epstein was working for Israel, everyone laughed at him. But now, a year later, well, it's the truth. And now everybody, like, it's very obvious what's happened, who our country sold out to. And part of it right here is JD Vance. This is a very statement from Stephen Greer on JD Vance. Check this out. This is I had no idea. And Stephen Greer does have information, but I would stay far away from him if ever associated with him. It seems like all of his friends die. Well, supposed friends. All the people around him die. He has good he has some real information. How about that? He has some real information though. So
now, after several horrific interviews that the vice president, JD Vance, has given, he did another one on the biggest podcast in the world, Joe Rogan, and again referred to the UFOs as demons. So, of course, that's because he's part of an extremist religious group, a fanatical group known as Opus Dei at the Vatican. And there are a number of other people who clandestinely are part of that are part of the UFO subculture and are embedded within CIA, FBI, DOD, etc. Now, after several horrific interviews that the vice president, JD Vance, has given, he did another one.
Very interesting. I had no idea that the Opus Dei would associate themselves with JD Vance, but yeah. Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff about this FIFA World Cup with Spain winning and Yamal being pretty much integrated by Leo Messi ever since a young age. There's this video clip going around over in Florida, the trans student who was arrested for their explosive meltdown for getting mad about misgendering. Well, I'm not gonna replay it. It's so sickening. Like, it's so bad. This man thinks he's a girl and he's just yelling and yelling and yelling and yelling and yelling about misgendering. It's just bad. It's very bad what's happening in our country. I support child beatings if this is your child. Swear. And yo, this came out a couple weeks ago, I believe, a couple days ago. King Trot was a rapper. He's a rapper, and someone tried to punch him, but he busted his knee. Listen in.
He ain't going to jail. He's on an ambulance tonight. In the ambulance tonight. Homie about to hit the hospital. He done tore his knee. I'm the brother on the microphone killing all the beats. Homie tried to punch me and failed. And tore his whole damn ACL. Shout out to my homies here. They gon' get you, bro. I'm the brother on the mic taking pictures, though. That's a true story. Homie was tripping. I'm the brother on the microphone, make him listen. He done tore his knee, chit, 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 chit. He tore his knee, trying to mess with me. He done tore his knee, chit, 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 chit. He tore his knee, trying to mess with me. He done tore his knee, chit, 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 chit. Tore his knee tonight. Shout out to the paramedics, cause they about to help you out. Give him some morphine. You know he need it without a doubt. That knee swole as hell. I'm the brother on the mic that never fail. He tried to run across the street and challenge me. Tore up his whole damn knee. That's That's what you get, man, messing with God's people. He done tore his knee, get. Tore his knee, messing with me. He done tore his knee, get. Tore his knee, messing with me. He done tore his knee, get. Tore his knee, messing with me. Tore his knee, get. And now y'all let him in the gurney. Good God. Shout out to my dude for the tip in the red. Homie right here, I hope you learn from this. I'm the brother on the mic to make them burn for this. We gon' put it on the Instagram, dog. He the Taurus me, get.
Oh man, hey, that's truth, man. You don't be messing with people that are blessed by God, man. Just don't do it. Angels be out here protecting. Oh man, we're gonna listen to this clip from Hunter Biden. This is pretty insane because Hunter Biden sobered up and cleaned up, and so he's actually pretty smart because he's been through a lot. And
there is like this closeted gay mafia, largely Republican, that exist in Washington, D.C., and everybody knows every single one of them who's gay. And so it's and what I believe, the only reason that is relevant is because I believe that internal conflict creates so much vitriol inside a person that they take it out on the rest of the world. And they do. And so what they do is their whole lives, they've been closeted. And so you have this like black ball inside yourself, this like blackened heart by the fact that you can't be who you want to be. And so you take it out on everybody else. And these men, largely men, have done exactly that. And everybody knows who they are. Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you seen, speaking of that, I say that Trump is now in his deathbed confession.
But by the way, like for Lindsey Graham, like everybody knows that Lindsey Graham was gay.
Right.
And I don't like, I don't have I really had, and I liked Lindsey Graham when I was a kid, but everybody knew that he was gay.
Right.
But we still kind of like talk about it on like CNN, the only reason it's relevant is because of the fact that they seem to do everything that they possibly can to take out their inability to know and live their true life on everybody else.
man, that I have heard that plenty of times about the right who are like Trump and Hegseth and all them and all the extreme right, where they're really closeted gays. Chappelle. This is from Dave Chappelle.
I'll be J.D. Vance, and you be Joe Rogan. All right, ready? Hey, I'm a big I'll be J.D. Vance, and you be Joe Rogan. All right, ready? Hey, I'm a big
Yo, man, Dave Chappelle is a real one. I'm so glad that he's on the right side with this. We're gonna keep going down. So Ross Coulthart is sharing extraterrestrial image of a veteran researcher and journalist, and he's been at the top of a lot of research and stories around the world for a long time.
Terrestrial technology.
Let's listen.
And the material documents are intriguing. And I'm hoping we might be able to show some images here of these documents, because what you see are photographs in the document. It's allegedly a leaked document from the Palo Alto Corret Laboratory in California. And Corret was short for Commercial Applications Research for Extraterrestrial Technology. And the materials include technical reports, diagrams of alleged extraterrestrial artifacts, technology, and pages of an alien symbolic language or script. And in around about 2007, a guy calling himself Isaac created a website on Fortune City, isaaccorrett.fortunecity.com, and it's actually archived on the Wayback Machine. You'll find it if you just put Corrett into the Wayback Machine. And he posted a personal account, scanned and redacted documents and high quality images. And he claimed to be a former employee who worked at PACL in the mid-1980s as part of a team reverse engineering extraterrestrial technology recovered from a crash site. And the goal was to adapt alien tech for commercial human applications, anti-gravity devices, or advanced propulsion for civilian use. And the PACL Q486, Q4 86 report is what was tendered. It's a 1986 primer on findings from these ET artifacts, and it described extraction processes, component analysis, and integration effects. And there's also pages from a linguistic analysis primer featuring complex diagrams and an elaborate symbolic alien language, self-executing or functional. I can't dismiss this case for reasons I cannot disclose. It's an ongoing investigation for me. I've got a hunch about who PACL Corrett were and people involved. And it's an ongoing investigation. There are reasons to be skeptical about the case, and there's been a whole debunk that's been published. It does beg questions to me. Why would somebody create such an elaborate document? It's a bit like the MJ12 documents. Why would somebody create such an elaborate document if it's all just a silly hoax? And a lot of people have suggested that it was a publicity effort by an animation company, a CGI company, to generate business. But if it was, they never said who they were or generated any benefits for themselves by publicizing their role in doing this. Basically, nothing has been heard from Isaac since he posted these documents in 2007, and the website is now defunct. I have a pretty good idea what PACL Corrett were and who was behind it, and it's an ongoing investigation.
I believe that there are groups and the individuals who are probably not part of normal society, right? You know, they're either Masonic or military, or strangely enough, even breakaway groups, scientists who figure out they need to do things on their own and create their own little league, and possibly extraterrestrial helped. So, with the help of some of these UFOs, they're being led to these places, or through some agreement, a treaty. There's some deal being made. Some allegiance being made. It's just, we got to figure it out, who it is, who's really making the allegiances. And I think for now we're done. We're done for today. Oh, you know what? Here's the last one before we end it. From Project Unity and Ancient Hypothesis. There's one.
Huaca del Sol appears like a mountain until you look closely and see the bricks. What looks like raw earth is actually the largest adobe pyramid ever built. 140 million sun-dried bricks raised by the Moche over centuries. A monument not of stone but of human will. scarred, defiant, and impossible to forget. Behind it, Cerro Blanco rises like a sentinel. Huaca del
I had no idea that existed. So this is a drill hole in these ancient sites, just to go and show you a little bit more proof that it wasn't made by man than an axe, and it just not no natural formation. Well, that's it, guys. I hope you guys have a good night, man. Be kind to one another. Live your dreams out. Always plan ahead. Drive safe. I'm just giving you guys words of advice. Literally, go down below. Check out all my sponsors. Get all the links. We all need the vitamins. We all need the supplements. We all need water ionizers and electrolyzers to help boost our vitality, boost our energy, keep us proper, healthy, focused, and balanced. And use my coupon codes, because we all know that these prices out here are absolutely horrible. So if you could, go buy some. You'll thank me later. Also, donate over to 509 Divine Pines, Cash App, PayPal, or buy me a coffee. And I'm glad to be back podcasting. I took a little break, mainly because of work and the Mount Rainier event I had going on, where I was just focused on getting myself a little bit ready for that. And just life, you know. Took a little summer break, but I'm back, baby. Let's go. Hope you guys have a good night. Peace. Be blessed. Be high. Love y'all. Oh, outro video. Let's do. Oh shit.
Meditating, analyzing everything I see, so I see new horizons. Took the acid, feeling blasted in my brain, so I've been sitting up inside it, thinking about the present and the future. I'm improving cause I am a trooper, never getting caught up in the loop. Got up out it cause I found the truth. Woke up to a beauty of the day, yeah, the sun is shining, so I'm finna stay. Sitting, soaking up all of the rays, till I feel it surging through my brain like some burger sugar. Did a lot of cane, experimented with it, couldn't name all the times I did it, feeling like a fade. Yeah, I'm really glad that I let it go, cause I gotta be prepped for the time when the plane ride is a new norm. So I know I'm gonna stay high, blaze on the ganja, feeling like I make my music go to another level while I take off. I can't ever stop this, fell in love with it, fit like a glove, so I'm never ever done with it. So now I'm about to rip another beat, ayy. One day I'll make a million in a week, yeah, shooting for the top spot. Feel like I'm a hot shot, like I really got a chance with it. I will not flop, somebody gonna make it dance when I pop off. Gonna have all the bitches taking all the tops off. I've been feeling like I'm really gonna kill it for the rest of my life, so I've been staying focused. In my soul, I've been feeling like $1 million, so I know that everything is really getting closer. Yeah, no posers, only been hanging with the ones I've chosen. Only all the people that are living in the right way, cause they spending every day growing. Yeah, no whole shit coming in my life and then leaving in a moment. That's the shit I'll never let into my life again, cause lately I've been feeling like I'm golden. Never showboat, I just showcase on my music that I made this far. Always knew that I could be the one that would get this far. Now I'm right here looking in my mirror, trying to figure out if there's any more fear, cause I'm getting rid of it all, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting rid of it all. Meditating, analyzing everything I see, so I see new horizons. Took the acid, feeling blasted in my brain, so I've been sitting up inside it, thinking about the present and the future. I'm improving cause I am a trooper, never getting caught.